Time to continue building up the scene. Currently, this is a background composition. I'm going to make a new composition to contain everything. So composition, new composition. I'm going to call this the final scene. Click OK. Within this final scene, I'm going to drag from the project window. If you don't see the project window, make sure you're not on effects. Click on project or go into window project. I'm going to drag the background into here, and the background knows how to animate because that's what we did previously. There's our stars. I'm going to drag in a foreground element. Click and drag into the project area. When it imports, I'm going to choose composition, layer size. I don't want to drag this whole composition in. I want to drag whatever layer is there. I'm going to drag that layer, right click the rasterize layer, and then shift drag to make it bigger. Right now, what we created, we have a foreground element with a background of stars twinkling. Add another foreground element. That element is going to be another file that gets imported. I'm using this robot. Use whatever you enjoy. Clicking and dragging it into After Effects. Again, choosing composition, layer size. I'm not using the robot composition, but going to its layers and selecting robot. And I'm going to put that above my tents. Drag that a little lower. I'm going to animate this robot. I just want it to go up and down like this, and eventually I want it to go side to side. This gets into the topic of why pre-comp things. One reason would be to make the animation of an object easier. Animating something going up and down, I could put that on a loop, and then animating in a different layer, something going left and right will give me more control. Let me show you this. I'm going to open up the positions for this robot layer or whatever character or object you picked. For its position, I'm going to start out right here at frame 0. Let's say in 15 frames, which is half a second, it completes one jump. It's a very excited robot. It's happy to invite people to its robot circus. Holding down the Control-Shift key and pressing the right arrow jumps by 10 frames, and then just holding down the Control key and the right arrow, 2, 3, 4, 5, moves the playback head 5 frames. I want to place another key right here because it jumps up and then comes right back down within 15 frames. Click on this triangle to add or remove a key. Since there's no key here, we'll add a key. And so I created a non-existent animation. But where it begins, it ends. That's pretty good. Let me go somewhere in between, which is 7.5 frames, but I don't have 7.5 frames. I'm going to click out 7 frames. Control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with the right arrow. I'm then going to drag this up. I'm going to hold down the Shift key after I start dragging to constrain it. There's our happy robot. So now our happy robot knows how to do this. Let's give it a pause. It goes up, and then it's going to wait a little. Let me get to that last frame, and I'm going to use these arrowheads to travel between keyframes. And at this last keyframe, I'm going to click out, holding down the Control key, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to place another key here, so there's a moment where the robot's on the ground, waits, and then jumps again. How am I going to get a jump again? Well, if you watched the earlier video, or if you just know about After Effects scripting, we're going to use loop out. Option click on the stopwatch, and then type in loop out. You could double click this line of code, click, and it shows up. And this should be enough to get it to continuously jump, wait, jump. Jump, wait, jump. Jump, wait, jump. Jump, wait, jump. See? Excited robot. You know, this isn't a attack robot. This is a friendly circus robot. It's a robot circus, so of course it's a circus robot. All right, I want this to move left and right. Now, if you look at the position key, both the X and Y axis are taken up. both of these parameters are in red. You can separate these parameters before you do this, and that would be one way to work. I'm interested in showing the concept of pre-comping or putting layers within layers. So now that we have this perfect motion of robot going up and down, up and down, up and down, I want this robot to move left and right. I could have separated the dimensions before animating it. I could also animate on the anchor point, which isn't fun, but I could do. I could also apply a transformation to this as an effect to move it left and right. Again, purpose of this to show the value of pre-comping conceptually. I'm going to select this layer, right click, and select Precompose. And all this does is make a new composition and places this object within that composition. So clicking on Precompose. Leave all attributes in the final scene, move all attributes. I want all the attributes to be moved into this new composition. And then I'm going to click on OK. All this did was create this new composition. If I double click it, here's the robot all by itself in its composition. So sad. Don't worry, we'll get you back to the circus. If I go to my final scene, we see this new composition in the scene. Let me rename this composition up here. I'll call it Robot Jump. And since I renamed it up here, it's applied here. So now I can animate this composition, P key, and I could put a position key right here. Maybe I'll drag the robot off screen, hold down the Shift key. I'll move forward in time on this outer composition. Let's say 1 second, and within a second, robot's here. Holding down the Shift key. And this is the prototype, bounce, 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 and now it's in place. And maybe it waits there for a moment. Clicking on keyframe right here, so it bounces out. It's happy to see us. It continues bouncing a little bit more.